Welcome back to Hardcore Heroes, everybody. You guys are on the edge of the firewood, and you are headed west now, east now.
All right, I'm going to switch out levitate for locate object instead of strength.
Sure. I tell Malachi to take a look at his bag and make sure the damage isn't too bad, that there were some rats chewing on in the night and to scare them off.
Well, actually, Neil, can I learn mending, cast it on the bag, and then learn? It locates object. Okay, sweet. So I stitch up my bag.
I look at it. I check the other stuff because they were like under my stuff too.
Yeah,
and
they're
make
all
sure
over crap. It looks like some of your food was eaten. How much food do you guys have on you anyway?
I can always go and get more with Goodberry, but I have 7 days of iron rations that I just restock whenever I get to town.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we could.
So they ate like a half day's worth of rations. You don't have to mark it. You fended them off pretty quickly.
Okay. I will drop.
Do mark down 3 iron ration uses for all 3 of you eating.
Okay. Do you have any, Nick?
No.
Okay, so I'm down to 4. That's fine, because I can always cast Create Water to make 4 gallons of water per level.
And Goodberry, right.
Yeah, and Goodberry.
I don't know. Neil, I feel like rations is one of those things that we pick up with our monthly expenses, right?
In fact, Neil, if I can just memorize new spells in the morning by casting them, I will just cast Create Water and refill all of our water skins on a daily basis.
Fantastic.
And I'll probably pass on Goodberry for now because we do have another day of rations.
Yeah. Well, we should be getting to a village today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just check the random encounter table. Favorite thing to do.
Yep. Let me make sure I have all the spells that I want. Okay. So I definitely want to stay, just to you, Nick, I do want to stay in the village for another day to memorize new spells.
Sure. I'd like to, there's a chance I might finish Glithodust if I do another day's study as well, so.
Okay. But I'm going to keep all my stuff for dealing with the wilderness right now.
You guys continue your journey. And maybe 6 hours later, you see Anvil in the distance as you round the edge of the firewood.
Yep.
There is smoke rising from various places in the town.
Like the thing is on fire kind of smoke?
Yeah, like black smoke.
Is there men? Is there a lot of like men around?
You see a large field of tents. Many, many tents. You're looking at hundreds of tents.
All right. Well, look, fine. It looks like Vicious is already here. I reckon the town's probably safe for us now. If we head in, we can see if we can find what we're looking for.
We might want to be invisible for this. Does the keep look like it's on fire?
It's too hard to tell from this point. There's just a lot of smoke and fire everywhere.
Do you think we want to be invisible?
Probably. I don't want to be mistaken for mercenaries after we go in.
The dogs, though, I say. And think about that.
Is it still early enough that I can memorize a different spell, Neil?
No.
Okay.
Let's just see what happens if we walk up there.
It's the problem if we walk up there and we're mistaken for mercenaries is we get executed.
No, he's not going to do that.
Do you think so? We're combatants who don't belong to his army. Carrick brought in all sorts of mercenaries. I think if we go in there and they don't know who we are, they're going to assume we're with him. Do you have invisibility, Malachi? I think you might want to go to the keep.
On my own? All right. You look after the dogs then.
All right. Go and do some scouting for us.
All right,
hopefully we can wait until tomorrow because I don't have spells for this today.
Cast Invis on myself and head into town then, Neil.
Is there a village nearby, Neil? Like within viewing distance?
Yeah.
Okay. I point to that and I say, we'll be waiting for you there.
All right.
Okay, so let's do Van Helsing and Darf first.
Yeah, we head to one of the nearby villages.
With the dogs. It's another 1.5 miles from your current position.
Mm-hmm.
And after a couple hours of... like 20 minutes of trekking or so... Had a little bit of a brain fart there for a moment on how far you can walk. You arrive in the town. It's a small little village. There's not much going on here.
I suggest Darth try asking around. I might be a bit too imposing with my armor.
What should I be asking around for?
Ask if they know what's going on in the town with all the smoke coming from Anvil.
Right. So he goes to scout out some information. What are you doing while Darf is scouting out info?
I'll ask if there's a barn that I can stay in. Like, I'll look for like a barn that we can rent for a couple silver or something.
Yeah, there's a farmer who's very eager to rent out his barn for a couple of silver.
Yeah, I'll give him 2 silver for it.
Nice. He gives you a nice little spot in a goat pen that's been empty and looks like it's been empty for a long time.
Cool. And I mentioned that I do have a friend with me, and he will probably come here soon too.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally fine.
Okay.
So, you rest there as well. Can you make me a charisma check, please?
Sure.
Well, I really ask for these with your 17 charisma, but...
Because I fail them regularly, I pass.
Okay. So maybe an hour later, Darf comes back, smelling like beer. And he shouts loudly for you outside of the barn.
I
Van Helsing!
Darf!
Welcome out wherever you are! Oh, there you go.
Darf. Come into the barn.
Man. The soldier's life. That's what I should have done. Those guys
Darf.
are fucking hilarious.
Darf.
Did you hear the one about Carrick and the woman?
I shake him a little bit. I say, Darf, don't
Alright.
say my name in town.
Oh, right. Sorry. Anyway. Yeah, the city's totally taken.
Vicious has already taken it.
Oh, fucking like days ago, a week ago.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. Army's breaking up, getting ready to pack out and head back
Do they
home
know
right
what happened
now.
with Carrick?
What? Huh?
Was Carrick captured?
I forgot to ask.
I'll go ask myself.
No, but it's cool. Like, the city's taken. Like, it's over. It's all over. Everyone's headed home.
Right. There's a little bit more. We want to make sure that Carrick has been dealt with as well.
Well, I mean, if the army's packing up and heading home, I'm sure he's been dealt with. But you should come by anyway, man. They've got this great thing that's like brewed by halflings. Never had this shit, dude.
Sure. Do me a favor and don't mention my name.
What should I call you? If I need to call you something.
I don't know. Frederick. Go with that.
Frederick? All right. Can I call you Freddy?
That's fine.
All right. So he walks with you into town. You see there's a group of soldiers kind of perched up on some barrels that they've got stacked outside of a tavern with the tavern's closed. It's got like a big board over it, nailing it shut. Soldiers are drinking from the barrels they're sitting on and joking loudly. They see Darf come back and they go, Darfy! Who's this guy? And damn! They all kind of look awkwardly between each other, then stand up and... Supposed to salute? It's got
Oh, no.
No?
It's no trouble. I'm simply a very well-off soldier myself.
Oh, okay. Oh. Did you like a round?
Sure. And I kind of go in and I ask about what's been going on in Anvil.
We marched out here a couple days back. About a week ago now? And, well, what is Carrick and his, 50, 60 guys gonna do against the 1,500 of us that came down? Wrecked.
Was Carrick captured?
The commander in charge took the keep and everyone in there. There's been no, I haven't heard anything about him missing. There's been no lookout for Carrick signs. I think we'll presume he's captured. But, I mean, we're holding this podunk little village out here. We're not in with the action. Someone would have come by and told us for sure if we were supposed to look out for him.
I'll have you know that Carrick has been a real pain in the ass for the past few months. Did you know he paid monsters in the lands around the towns to harass the other villages?
No.
Goblins. He worked with goblins, ogres. We had to kill so many of those fucking things.
He hired monsters?
He hired ogres. He equipped them with these massive two-handed swords.
Oh my god. That's fucked up, man. Well, good riddance, right?
Agreed. And I guess we just kind of drink. What goes on with Malachi, I guess, because I don't really have anything else to do for the time being.
They ask, before we switch over to Malachi, they do want to trade stories with you. Will you willingly trade stories of your adventures with them?
Yeah, I'll tell them things like how I travel with a wizard and we killed a chimera outside of a town near Redport. Like I'll tell them some of the more interesting stuff, but nothing necessarily about like our dealings in Anvil in the past. I just kind of leave it. I want to talk about more like the generic. We killed this monster. We killed this monster.
Right.
We eradicated an island full of hobgoblins.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I'm sure Van's chimera story is very different to mine.
All right. So, Malachi, you make it into Anvil.
All right, so I guess I'm just like wandering through, aimlessly like, looking around. Is like everything on fire? Do I see any people?
There are people around here. Not everything's on fire. It looks like there are some buildings and some kind of blocks that have burned. And this is the smoldering remains of what burned down maybe yesterday or the day before, or maybe earlier in the week.
I might try and just like listen in. If there's like little groups of people huddled around in alleys or something like that, I might just try and listen to the conversation.
Yeah, it appears that the forces of fortune came in, just overwhelmingly outnumbering the people here, and it wasn't even a fight. Like
Is everyone?
a bunch of the mercenaries surrendered on the spot. Those that didn't surrender held up in the keep. The keep was encircled. Anyone that stuck their head up above the ramparts was peppered with arrows. Some wizards came in, knocked open the doors, and just like walked in and took everything. You do hear them talking about Carrick's head, and you can make your way to the town square to find his head, as well as the head of his accomplices on spikes. The town
Does
square.
he find the scimitar?
Yeah. There is no magical scimitar lying around, is there?
No magic scimitars lying around.
In that vein, though, I am going to cast Locate Object and imagine that exact scimitar that knight was carrying.
Can you remember any details about that scimitar? Even one specific detail about that scimitar, and I'll say Malachi remembers them all.
It's okay. I do remember it. I remember it in detail, so you can always come back to me, Nick.
Yeah, I feel like maybe we would. I can't remember any specific details, Neil, other than it was a magical scimitar. Wait.
Right.
It had a slight glow.
You're just guessing.
Can he make an int check?
No,
To see if
I
he
want to
doesn't-
see if because
I
in
don't
my
remember
mind
that.
that Malachi might be interested in the scimitar, but it's a passing interest to him. So
Okay, yes.
if Nick had enough of an interest in it to remember even one detail about it, I would say that Malachi had remembered the whole thing. But
Okay.
I think Nick's lack of information on it goes to show that Malachi doesn't give a shit.
But could I have maybe not spoke to Van about it on the way up here?
Maybe.
Because you're just gonna make me go back to the village and come back out here tomorrow.
Or like
That's
even today.
true.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll settle for an inch check, Neil. I'll meet you halfway on that. You can give
yeah,
me a
you've got
minus
like
3 if you
19
want.
inch, so that's not.
17.
He's not Georg yet.
How about minus 4?
Or anymore. Bargaining. I love the bargaining. All right, in check at minus 4.
Yes. Damn it. Okay, then what I'm gonna do instead? I'm like sitting there trying to think. Wait a minute, what did this thing actually look like? I can't remember. And I look at Carrick's head. I assume his holy symbol isn't around his head.
Nope.
Then I will cast Locate Object on Carrick's holy symbol.
What's
Hoping
the
that maybe they're
range
together.
of locate object?
All right. Well, it's 100 yards.
Total?
Yes.
It lasts for 8 hours though, so if he moves closer to it, it will start kicking in.
8
Does not
hours?
last. It does not last for 8 hours.
Am I looking at the wrong? No, it says locate object, duration 8 hours.
Maybe yours is 8 hours. Mine isn't.
Okay, so I have like the better locate object.
Yeah, mine's only 5 rounds.
Okay. But if he moves in range in those 5 minutes, it will kick in. And what's the range on it?
100 yards. But all right. So Neil, if it's not in the immediate 100 yards, I'm gonna walk towards where the camp is.
Hold on, that's got to be a typo. 8 hours?
8 hours with a range of 60 yards plus 10 yards per level.
That has got
It's
to
from
be a
the
typo on
player's handbook. I will check. I'll check the
I'm
form.
checking it right now, but oh my god, that's fantastic.
Pre-spells. It is the cleric version of it.
Duration is 8 hours.
Yep, duration is 8 hours.
Damn.
So I could literally just walk into town, cast it, and
It's much better you doing this than me then. Going forward.
I feel like you're gonna have to steal it, Malachi.
No, that's what I'm gonna do if I can find it.
So you're looking for his holy symbol.
Yeah.
And where do you start?
Well, I start in the center of town.
Near the keep?
Just
Or is that near the keep is what I'm asking?
is his head in the center of town?
His head is in the town square in the center of town, which is very close to the keep.
Okay, I will start there, right? And if I don't see it, then I'm gonna walk to where the military camp is.
The camp is outside of town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I assume 100 yards is bigger than 100 yards radius is bigger than the town itself, right?
Right.
So if
No,
it's not,
no, it's not.
oh, right, no, yeah, it's not, is it?
No.
Well, so
The size of a football field.
I'll start with the keep then and just try and as efficiently use my time as possible circling around the town.
You do, on your second round, pick up the presence of the holy symbol from within the keep.
Ah, okay. Then I shall go to the keep and try and... Is the keep rubble?
No. There is a nice stone wall around the keep. The keep is kind of in the center of town, very similar to how in Shirebrook the keep is in the center of town. Except this time the town surrounds the keep on all sides rather than on two sides.
Is the gate open?
The gate is closed, and there are armed guards. 3 armed guards standing out front of it.
Well, I mean, I'll wait for a little bit.
I mean, eventually someone's going to open the door and walk through it. You wait long enough. Why don't you give me a... Because these guards are pretty good. You know, these aren't your average guards watching the gate on an average day. We've just taken this city from known spellcasters, so we're being careful. So give me a dex check if you want to slip past through the doors. And if you roll natural 18, 19, or 20, you get caught.
If it seems like they're particularly on edge, I'm not going to risk it.
Okay.
I'm not going to try and sneak in because then the keep door could be locked. It could be locked in a chest.
I feel like we should come back tomorrow.
I check at the scimitars. I'm not asked about the holy symbol. So I'll confirm that the holy symbol's there. I'll see that the guards are on the gate, and I'll leave.
Mm-hmm. Cool. You can meet up with Van Helsing and Darf back in the shitty little village.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we meet up with them.
Well, Van, looks like the battle's already won.
We head to the barn, obviously.
Right.
Carrick's head's in the middle of town.
So he is dead.
He is
Did
dead.
you find the scimitar?
I couldn't remember what it looked like, but his holy symbol is still in the keep. So maybe the scimitar is with that. Maybe Carrick hid it somewhere before
All right.
going out to meet his end. But
I will describe the scimitar to Malachi because I do want.
Describe it to me.
So you said one detail. One detail you did mention was that there were it was like a seashell handle. You mentioned it was not like a normal handle. You specifically mentioned like a seashell handle.
No.
I swear to God that happened.
I am looking at the description right now. It is not a seashell handle.
I swear that was what you said.
Nope.
well, so do we not know what it looks like?
Apparently.
Can you remember any other details, Van?
Oh God, this is awful. We came all the way out here. We just have to be like, fuck, I don't remember what it looks like and go. Off-color blade.
Off-color blade.
Like
most magic weapons have an off-color blade. That's
This guy.
Red.
fucking guessing. You're just like throwing words out there, man.
We don't know, Neil.
All right, that's
All right.
clearly.
Hold on.
Because I gave a description of. Are you guys reading chat?
Hold on.
No, I'm not. No. Doesn't matter, I'm gonna go back anyway. I'm gonna go back anyway.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. You saw the scimitar once upon a time for a very short period of time, and that was like 2 months ago. So, not having an accurate mental image of it makes sense.
I mean, it still seems like we should have some sort of recourse for this because, like, bear in mind that we as players only got to hear a description of it at one point, whereas the characters actually saw it. And Van would have seen that and been like, "I want that scimitar."
But again, let's read the locate object spell here. All right.
I'm pretty sure people have a better memory for what they see than what they hear, is what I'm saying here.
Maybe, and that is a good argument to make. But I want to read a passage from this spell to
you do
make
need
my
an
point.
accurate mental image.
Yeah.
Checking right now.
Like 283 was the page number. Locate object.
Yes, attempting to find a specific item does require an accurate mental image.
Yeah.
But I would argue that I should have some sort of roll to see if I do remember that image, because I feel like Van Helsing would have a better memory for what he's seen than that one thing that I heard.
Well, that's what I'm saying here is if you can remember one detail, then Van Helsing has a full mental image, not remembering just that.
I can
detail.
cast a spell tomorrow too to help with that.
I don't think we know about it. I think Neil's.
No, I have a spell called Idea, Neil. It's a 2nd level spell. Simulates the priest's mind to experience a flash of insight. In game terms, the DM reminds the priest player of a fact or event that has been forgotten, overlooked.
Yeah, that's perfect. Look at that. You can't even argue with that, Neil. That
sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good. But I hope you guys understand the point that I'm trying to make here is that you guys saw one person with the scimitar once for like maybe 10 minutes a couple of months ago. So for your characters to not have an accurate mental image of something you saw for 5 minutes, not even like the center of your attention, but saw someone having over there, you gotta...
I could understand.
Like I can't even remember what my wife wore around the house yesterday. Like,
that's,
you know,
I think that's fair. I do think that there would be some sort of recourse considering Van. Like I specifically mentioned as a player, like Van wants that scimitar as soon as you described it to me. But I would argue that regardless, the idea spell should remind me of its image.
Yeah, I think the idea spell will probably help you out here.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to stay in the barn for the night and wait till tomorrow.
Yeah. Well. That's so much easier. I just want to look up the spell idea. Game turns the DM reminds the player of a fact.
I mean, really, this is what that spell's made for.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
It says, like, you shouldn't give information that would unbalance the campaign, but I would say, like, remembering the description of an item is a fairly...
I think that's a perfect use of that spell. It's like, wait, God, what would that thing look like? I'm going to cast an idea and remember what that looked like. It's perfect use of that spell.
Okay. So we'll sleep for the night. I'll wake up in the morning and memorize that and cast it to remember what the blade looks like.
You can buy food in the village, so you don't have to spend rations today.
Okay.
And we'll just skip another day. Here's my calendar.
Yep.
I'll get you on the right calendar.
I'm going to go and grab some new spells.
Oh, Malachi, today you do learn Glitter Dust.
Oh, sick.
The next day, Wednesday the 6th, is a hot day. It is in the mid-90s all day long.
So, Neil, when I first wake up, I want to cast Invis on myself.
Just so you know, it's about 34 Celsius all day.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay. So I take idea. So when we wake up, I'm going to memorize idea and locate object, and I can memorize both those, cast them, and then have enough time to memorize new spells. So I'm gonna cast idea and remember the description of the blade. You said within 1 hour, and it's a little under an hour to memorize those. So I want to remind myself the description of the scimitar.
Okay.
The mental image of it.
Got it.
What can you describe it to me as a player really let me
find that page. It has an orange-tinted mithril blade with the phases of the moon engraved on both sides, going from full to new. Its pommel is the remains of a shooting star, and its crossguard is a downward crescent.
Damn.
The mithril used blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter.
Can you just send that to me in text really fast? Because I couldn't take notes on that fast enough.
Sure.
I was gonna say orange blade, man. In my head, I was imagining an orange blade.
I thought it was red, so I'm wrong too. Damn. I think this goes to show how bad the human memory is, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I cast that, and then I want to cast locate object with that in mind, and I also want to describe the blade in detail to Malachi.
Can he give me the stick? The locate object stick? Is it the stick that's magic?
No, it's the spell that's magic. The stick
Yeah.
is needed, but
Okay.
So I cast it on myself because it lasts 8 hours, but I also want to give him an accurate mental description because I think he's going to have to be the one to go in and get it, and I want him to be able to cast it once he gets into the keep.
What, are we getting together?
I might not be able to get in, bearing in mind that I'm armored, but I can at least tell you where it is because I have 8 hours and it's 120 yard range for me. So my locate object spell is better than his.
I shall invis both of us then.
Okay.
right.
Darf goes, well, what am I supposed to do?
You know what? Chill out here for the day, Darf. You can drink all you want, and I kind of give him a few silver.
A good warrior never gets too drunk to defend himself.
I
Look
understand.
after my dog stuff.
I'm dog sitting.
You can
Great
drink if you
adventurer
want.
Darf is dog sitting. Sometimes I feel like you guys don't appreciate me. I can fight. Let me in on the action, guys.
We specifically are trying not to fight here, Darf. That's why we're doing this.
You want to fight the whole army, Duff?
No.
I understand that you want to be put in on the action here, but we're specifically trying to end this quietly, peacefully, and with nobody.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I cast both those spells and take my other spells, and
Wait, Duff, do you have any rope? I think he did have rope, Neil. You said he had rope.
He might have had rope when he first showed up, but when he was put on that boat, he didn't have crap.
Is there any rope in the barn?
Yes, but that's theft.
Yes. I shall thief the ropes.
I'll just say I'll just.
We'll give it back, man. We're just borrowing it.
Okay. I'll pay the farmer if he looks like he noticed. I'll be like, we're gonna bring it back, but I'll give this to you for the rental. I apologize, and I'll give him a few more silver for that rope.
That's very good of you.
Yeah.
Better than some people out there.
It's hard having morals in D&D. It's hard to play that character.
It is.
I'm just making sure that I've got all the spells I want.
How far is the walk to the keep now?
From the village,
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 miles.
Okay.
That should be good.
I can't walk to the keep and still learn new spells, can I?
Nope.
We can memorize them in the morning, though. Oh, wait, you're trying to learn new ones. That's right.
I'm just thinking, because I'm going to need levitate to get in and out of the keep,
Right.
which means I can't take knock.
Here are my spells for the day. Hopefully I don't need most of these. So I have locate object on, and we're heading back to town. I make sure Malachi has another casting of locate object available for himself.
No, I can't. I'm going to use the detect magic instead.
Okay. Which should show up because mithril is specifically mentioned to be a magical material in my spell list.
It
You
is.
said it's magical, so if it's not magical, then why
Yeah.
why am I even sneaking into this place for it?
All right, do your thing.
Alright,
right.
that's my spells. Right.
So we walk to town.
I cast invis on both of us, and then we walk to the town.
Yeah.
All right, you guys are invisible, and you enter town.
Yeah. So I'm going to walk not into the keep, but toward the keep, and I have 120 yard range on my locate object. I want to see if I locate the scimitar.
You have an accurate mental image of it.
So locate object will detect it and tell me if I'm looking in the right
When
direction
do you
as long as
cast
I'm within
locate
120
object?
yards. Huh?
When do you cast locate object?
When I woke up in the morning. It lasts for 8 hours.
Yeah.
All right, and it's in the path directly in front of you.
So looking at the keep, it looks like it's in the keep.
No, I'm
That's
just trying to remember how locate object works. It works by covering whatever path is before you.
Yeah, let me make sure it's the same for me as it is for him.
Yeah.
When he is facing the direction of the object to be located, so I'll know when I'm facing its direction.
Okay.
And it will have to be within 120 yards of that direction.
Sure. So you arrive at the keep. You're both invisible. You get as close to you can, which means walking up the little ramp that leads to the gates, which are still shut with 3 guards on it. 2 down in front, 1 up on the wall. And your locate object goes off, and you get this like tingling sensation that just draws you towards the keep.
Okay.
Can you circle around, Van, and try and find out, make sure that it's in the keep?
Yeah, so we'll go around the keep and make sure it's actually inside. Like I'm constantly being pulled toward looking at the keep if we go to the other side. And also, I want to use that time to see if I can locate a specific area of the keep. Like if it's pulling me, because if we change directions, I'll also be like where the spell will go off, and I'll know where I'm looking in the right direction will change as well. I want to see if I can use that to sort of triangulate its position.
I just broke something. I might have just temporarily broken your spell list, Malachi. Trying to fix something else about it.
That's all right. I have my own list.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you repeat what you said, Van?
Yeah, so we're going to go around the keep to make sure it's in the keep. But also, while we're going around, I want to like try and triangulate its position, because I'll know what direction it is from different directions. I want to use that to try and locate what spot of the keep it's in.
Easy peasy. So you get... You're sure it's in the keep, and you can't get an exact room, of course, because you don't know what the keep looks like on the inside very much. But you do...
Do I know if it's up or down?
I think you just know in front of you.
Okay.
But it seems to be on one of the corners of the keep.
One of the corners. Okay.
What do we call it? The northern corner. So the keep's not at it's like at a 45-degree angle off the north, south, east, west, whatever that's called. Cardinal directions.
Okay. Are you sure it wouldn't notice like Y direction? I feel like it would probably know up or down.
I'm not sure about that.
Or that'd be Z, I guess, in 3 dimensions.
Because it only gives you forward. It doesn't give a distance forward. It just says in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so like I feel like if you were say something was like a foot in front of you but 200 feet up, would looking like directly ahead of you tell you that it's in front of you, or would looking up start giving you that tingling sensation?
No, I think looking directly in front of you would get it. And I think if you were doing that, you might walk forward, and then all of a sudden it's not in front of you, and you turn around and it's in front of you, and you're like, what the hell? It's not here. And then you'd have to start thinking up or down.
Can I point out the corner that I'm getting the sense that it's from?
Yeah, the northern corner. Easy. Easiest spot.
All right. I point out where it is to Malachi. And I say, Malachi, I think you're going to have to be the one to go in there.
Leave it with me.
I can't say.
All right. Leave it with me.
Sure.
All right, Neil, I'm going to circle around the wall to a bit where there's no guards.
Sure.
Yeah, and then I'll cast Levitate on myself.
Okay. Does that break your invis?
I don't think so, because it's not an attack, right?
Yeah.
If it is going to, then I won't do it, but I don't think it should.
Right, because invis only breaks
From
if you cast attack spells.
If I was casting it on someone else, I'd say that's probably okay. You could say it breaks invis, but because then I'd be making someone take a saving throw.
Do you have a second casting of it?
Yes, but that means I haven't got knock. So if it's in a locked chest, I can't get it out.
At least we'll know fairly well where it likely is.
I might just try and take the chest with me, though, if it's in a chest. Just levitate back over the wall there.
All right. I thought we were going to have to like kill Carrick when we came here, but I'm okay with this turn of events where it's like he's been killed, but now we're infiltrating the castle.
Stealing his loot.
Yep.
Priest spells, bless, chant, and prayer are not attacks for this purpose. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied. I will probably continue to do this every single time you cast a spell while invisible.
Okay, so I cast Levitate, and I go up over the wall and, vault myself over.
So Levitate allows you to go up and down, but not side to side.
He can pull himself along things, though.
So you can pull up and then, slide over and then push yourself down or levitate down and walk. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at that as I'm sort of, floating over the wall until I lose my forward momentum from air resistance. I'm looking at the windows on the keep. Are they just wooden shutters?
No, the keep actually has glass because they're wealthy enough to afford it.
Oh, shit.
Does it look like it opens?
Some of them definitely open. There are some that are actual just like arrow slits in the keep, which are too small for you to fit in. And there are some glass ones that are shut and look like they don't open, and some that look like they do open.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and look for one that will open now. I'll float up the side of the keep.
So you find the corner. It's just a square corner. It's not there's no turret on it. And you float up, try one set of windows. They don't open. Float up, try another set of windows. Doesn't open. What's the duration of levitation?
1 turn per level. So 50 minutes.
Yeah, you got tons of time. You're totally good.
What a way to die that would be, eh?
You float to the 3rd floor, and the windows here are also locked.
We're gonna go around.
Alright, so you just kind of like pull yourself along the keep, looking for windows. You find
Does
some
it look
windows
like there's anyone in the keep?
Oh yeah. Some windows you have to skip by to avoid not, opening windows into someone's room where there's people existing. But eventually...
Who's living there, though?
You see soldiers mostly living in here. Looks like officers and a couple of grunts.
Okay,
and
eventually. Feeling a bit nervous about this now. I didn't think there was going to be anyone in here.
Nope.
Yeah.
Eventually you find a set of windows that are open already. On just along a walkway along the edge of the one of the walls.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pull yourself in the keep.
Yes. All right, I do so.
Oh my god. I made a mistake. I should have taken telepathy.
Oh, that would have been cool. All right, Neil, and then I'm going to... what I will do is, right, if there's ever, like, a hallway that I need to go down where there's a guard patrolling the hall, I've got time, right? I'm just going to wait for him to go somewhere else before I'm not going to try and sneak past anyone. Unless you tell me if I need to, but I'm just not going to try and walk past anyone.
Okay. So, you find your way through the keep.
Oh, wait. I'm levitating, so there's no footprints. No foot...
how do you move forward, then?
Well, if I had to, I could go along the wall, but I'll walk for now. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. This isn't the first sneaky mission I've done in this keep.
Alright, so you're pulling yourself along, or walking along. You find that northern corner of the keep, eventually.
Alright. Then I will, here, at this point, cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. And what is the range of Detect Magic?
I think it's pretty...
area of effect, I should say.
It's like a beam in front of you, isn't it, for quite a while. It's only 10 by 60 feet. How high is the keep?
3 stories, so 30 feet.
30, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I just cast it from up here and look down. 60 feet and it's 10 by 60.
A stone wall of 1 foot or more thickness. So before you cast it, you should know that these walls will block Detect Magic, because they're all at least a foot thick.
Okay, but the doors aren't.
Correct, the doors aren't, but the walls and floors are...
Would the floors be a foot thick?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd probably want like lighter weight floors because otherwise that could collapse really easily if you have like foot thick stone floors.
Maybe, but just as like a principle of design to simplify all my things, I just have everything just
that's all right. Okay,
everywhere.
That's fair.
If I get, so are we saying that there's 1 room in each of these corners? Then there's 3 floors, so I'm not sure which room it's in. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
So can I, if I cast Detect Magic, can I check this first room by sort of looking through the door, so to speak?
Probably, yeah.
All right, so I'll do that. Is it in this room?
You're on the 2nd floor right now, which is the middle floor. And we have a pawn difference with that.
Then okay, fine, yeah, whatever. I'll cast it here.
Okay. You do not detect the presence of any magic behind that door.
Then I'm gonna start going up the stairs to the 3rd floor.
Okay. And the duration of Detect Magic is
10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you'll be fine. You can get all 3 floors.
Yeah.
It is on the ground floor.
Okay.
You detect a magical aura. And you don't detect just one magic aura, you detect a few.
Oh yeah, here we go. All right. I was hoping this might happen.
The only problem is that there is a guard on this door. His back is to the door, and he's kind of leaning against it. He is wearing a breastplate of brass with chainmail underneath it. And he carries a shield that's kind of resting on the floor right now, and a long sword, and he's got a big helmet on with a, what do you call it, horsehair up the top of it.
The front door to the keep, is it near here?
Not very close.
Relatively, though. Can I go and check on it?
Your detect magic spell will wear off by the time you get back.
Sure, but I know where it is, right?
Sure. Yeah, you can go check the front of the keep.
Okay. Is the door open? Are people coming in and out of it?
The door is currently shut, and no one is entering or exiting at this moment in time.
I'll wait for a bit. Half an hour.
Yeah, eventually you see someone entering the door.
Is it locked behind him? No.
No, it is not locked. But there is a guard on the inside, and when it opens, you see there's a guard on the outside as well.
Okay. Then I guess I'm just gonna wait for this guy to move, maybe.
The guy at the door behind which are the magic signatures?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take note of how often other people come down this corridor.
Sure. The corridor is lightly traveled, so every 10 to 20 minutes someone is walking down it, or a group of people are walking down it, but it's mostly abandoned. The guard is on the door. How long are you waiting, did we say?
2 hours.
Okay, so 2 hours pass, your levitation's worn off, your detect magic's worn off, you just got the invisibility running, and it is still just the guard and the occasional passersby.
I need more level 2 spells to make this work. Can I find a room to sleep in for 8 hours? Probably not. Although, if I had Wizard Lock, I probably could. I think then invisibility is 24 hours, right?
Yep.
How long? I've only been here for what, 2 hours?
It took a couple hours to walk to town, and then you've been here for 2 hours in here. So let's say you've been invisible for 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Does this door have a lock on it? Can I tell?
It looks like it does lock.
Since we're looking at the possibility of him being here all day, Van Helsing would wait outside, and if there's commotion, he would get ready to maybe do something in case he needs to save Malachi. But if it's evening and he hasn't seen him, he's just going to go back to the village, because how are they going to find each other invisible?
Right.
Do I remember if this room had a window?
It does have a window, but it was one of the windows that do not open.
It's not ideal, is it, Neil?
No. I should also mention that the window's made up of lots of small panes of glass with iron between them, so even if you did manage to break one of the panes of glass, it's not big enough to pull yourself through.
Yes, okay.
A well-chosen room to store magic items in. Really only one entrance in or out. Unless you can make yourself really small and break a window.
I'll wait for a few more hours, and then I'll try and leave. I'll find a room that's unused. I'll open the window. I'll cast levitate. I'll float back out over the wall.
Sure. If you have another casting of levitation, you can get out without any problem.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And I think we'll just meet you guys back up at the barn that evening.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Malachi, did you find it?
Yes.
Who's there?
It's us, Darf. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God. Scared the shit out of me.
Cancel the spell.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's in a room, in a chest, I assume, with a bunch of other magical items. There's a guard on the door. The door's locked. Guard didn't seem to move.
So you can't get past the door?
I could disable the guard, unlock the door, go in.
You can do that.
Recast invisibility, but then I'd have no way out.
Well, could you levitate in and out again like you did the first time?
I'd need to take... I only have enough knowledge to take 2 spells of that level.
Neil, what are the walls made out of around the keep?
Stone. The keep is stone. The walls outside of the keep are also stone.
Awesome. That's perfect. You know, Malachi, this might be time for me to step in here.
Are you
Neil,
gonna do what
I
think
want to
you're
ask
gonna
you
do?
about a spell called Meld into Stone.
That's what I thought you were gonna do.
So it mentions, can I like step out and back into stone during the duration? Because it lasts for D8 or 8 plus D8 minutes, right? And it mentions that like it's kind of weird. I don't know if you can like step into and out of stone at will during the duration. It seems like you can, but it's kind of unclear.
Let's read this.
Yeah.
But
I can take multiple castings of that, so.
So you think that it's going to let you just walk through the wall?
Yeah, I can walk through walls. I can step into stone, I can meld into it, and then step out whenever I want. So if you pointed out the correct room to me, we could just take it.
You might only even need 1 levitate if you can do it quick.
Yeah, like you could do, even if not, I could just cast it again and meld out through the wall.
No, yeah, the wall is stone as well.
Yeah.
Babe.
If I have to cast it multiple times, that is doable.
It's whether it... Can you actually walk in on one side and walk out the other side?
I don't think
Yes.
so. While in
It says
stone,
so.
the priest remains in contact, however tenuous, with the face of the stone through which he melded.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So I think you merge into the stone, and then you're kind of just like stuck on the face that you melded into.
Oh
and
yeah,
then
it says you have
step
to
back out.
step out through the stone surface he entered. So we have to go through...
So
In
good
that
then.
case- Well, there's other things I think we can do here then.
But that was really close.
I could have done it. That would have been great.
But of course, I was wondering if that seems like a higher level than 3rd level spell to like walk through walls.
I might have other things that'll help here.
Yeah, 'cause Wraith form does that sort of thing, and it's 3rd level, but you still need like a crack to go through. You could actually walk
Malachi, if you
through
can get us
stone
both into
walls.
the keep. If you can get us both into the keep again, we could I have a spell I could cast to warp the door.
I can get through the door, but to get us both into the keep, I wouldn't be able to get us out.
If we did it in under an hour, we could just levitate in, couldn't we?
How much do you weigh, Van?
Well, if I don't go without my armor, which was the plan because I don't want to make any noise, I would be, I think, 180 pounds.
So if you hold on to my legs, I can levitate us both in with 1 spell.
I might be 200. Let me check.
It doesn't matter. I can levitate 500.
I'm 200.
So
Okay.
we could both get in with 1 levitate spell.
Okay. I think because you know what room it's in, so we could go in and be out within 50 minutes, no problem.
But if I sleep the guard, then I become visible.
That's true. So you'd have to cast another visibility.
So I sleep the guard, I unlock the door, then I'm going to have to cast Invis again on myself.
And then we can levitate back out.
But then
As long as we do it in under 15 minutes, then the levitate will be fine.
It will only work, right, if we can find somewhere to sleep
Why?
that's near the... Because I have to be able to have Invis once and levitate.
Once. Because
And
you can
knock
levitate
one
us.
and knock. Unless you can deal with the door.
I can warp wood on the door. Neil, warp wood would basically beat a block door, right? I feel like that's pretty basic understanding of the spell.
I think so. Bend and warp, permanently destroying its straightness and form and strength.
It's gonna make a loud noise though.
I don't think warping it would. We have to kick it in.
Think about it like a tree branch that's bending in the wind, like a big thick one. It would go. It would make noise if you warped an entire.
Was that guard the only guard nearby?
Yes, it was just the one guard on the door.
Okay, so we could do that tomorrow. You could sleep him. I could warp the wood on the door.
But make sure that you can affect enough wood. It affects approximately a 15-inch shaft of wood up to 1-inch diameter per level of the caster. I don't think that's enough to warp the entire door.
It would be enough to warp the wood along its hinges.
Yes, you could probably. I don't know if you could do a part of a larger piece of wood though.
He might have the key on him though. He might not though.
He might not. Let's see if there's another way we can get in. I'm sure there is. I've got a lot of spells here. Oh, I can soften earth and stone.
What does that do?
All natural undressed earth or stone in the area of effect is softened. Wet earth becomes thick mud. Dry earth becomes loose sand or dirt. Stone becomes soft clay, easily molded or chopped.
Oh shit.
So we could just like dig through it if we softened the stone.
That might look a little bit suspicious, but...
Were there guards all along the walls, Neil? I would have seen that from outside.
The outer wall had people patrolling on it in a single people. Like, so there were 2 people patrolling along the edge of the wall. And then there were the 3 people on the gate, 2 in front, 1 on top, and then actually 2 inside. Malachi would have seen. So actually 5 people on the gate, 2 inside, 2 outside, 1 on the wall.
So he was in the back of the keep, right? For the
why don't we make some drawings here? That sounds like fun.
This makes it. I can't use a level 3 slot to memorize a level 2 spell.
I tend to allow that in 2-point Neil, but since we're doing base rules,
are we sure it's not in the base rules though?
I'm positive it's not in the base rules.
Okay, fine then.
Is it not in the base rules or not allowed in the base rules?
It's
I feel
not
like that
mentioned in the base rules.
I feel like that might be legit though, like taking a weaker spell in place of a stronger one. Because if you can memorize a 3rd level spell in that slot, I feel like a 1st level spell makes sense.
Which is why I typically rule that's an acceptable thing.
Yeah. I mean, I know we're playing base rules mostly, but we have house ruled a few things in on the basis of them making sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did the monthly costs and all that stuff.
That's your call, Neil. Because if I can do that, then we can get the knock and the invis and the levitate. But
I'm looking for other options right now too.
This is the part of being a DM that's really frustrating when I'm like, ooh, I think this spell might work, or oh, I've got an idea about this thing and I don't want to tell the players, but I want to beat my own puzzles.
Move. Oh damn!
You didn't know you had. We've achieved nothing this episode if we don't steal these items.
Yeah, we have to get these items. Like we've come too far. We can't just like walk away at the end of a session. That'd be so disappointing.
Okay, so here is our rough, not to scale sketch of the keep.
Okay.
So this is on the cardinal directions. The 2 lines are the front door of the keep.
Right.
The blocked out tower on the north side is
where the thing is.
Where the magic is. Right.
Okay.
So
it's on the front side.
Yeah, it's on the front side.
Okay, so we wouldn't be able to like dig through without alerting people. So in that case,
right. Because people will walk and patrol the walls, and it's pretty obvious and regular because they walk in a circle around the wall.
What about here though, Neil? What about the room next door to it? Could we go into this room and then dig through that wall?
That's very clever. You'd have to get in that room and see what's in it.
But was there a room there?
Yeah, of course.
Let me at least say that I do feel like, what are we saying on the 3rd level or 2nd level spell in a 3rd level slot? Because I feel like that should be legit. I feel like we should probably make a ruling on that.
That's true. We need to make a ruling on that right now. Well,
because that kind of changes our plan, and then we can go to break from there. Because
so far we've been using base rules as written, and all we've done is add in extra spells. Right?
We also changed a few things.
What did
we changed monthly cost. We I know we changed something else. We added in encumbrance, even though that's an optional rule, because encumbrance just makes sense.
Right. Okay. So that's right.
I feel like there's a few changes in there that just like make sense for the system.
Well, see, that's the slippery slope that we get set on here, because there's a lot of things that just make sense, but then we kind of just transition into a 2E variant. So if we want to,
know.
slip away from the rules as written, everything totally vanilla, we might want to make that decision as a party, and I think that's something that we probably will do eventually, because like pure rules as written is kind of janky.
Yeah, I do feel like it's nice having the rules, like we gradually change the rules as we go through, because that's what we've been doing up until this point.
We're going to run some problems, though. For example, Neil, since this affects me about being able to cast level 3 spells, I feel like you might want to say then I should have a limit to how many spells per level I can learn. In which case, if we add that rule in later on, what does that mean? Do I just lose the spells that are above that number, or?
Yes.
Seems weird that I would be able to have cast them at one point and then not at another point. I'm happy to keep this. I mean, you've said before that I can't do it, so.
I'm happy to, let's keep it like this for now. Maybe when we come to like an end of season 2, when we start the next one, we will readjust the rule set. Kind of like we readjusted for spells this rule set. This
okay,
season.
hold on. Never mind. I have another 3rd level spell, Neil, that will work just as well.
Which one?
By means of the spell, the caster can form an existing piece of stone into any shape that suits his purposes. So I can just touch the wall right outside the garden thing and turn it into a stone arch.
Yes, you can, but its duration is permanent. So it will forever be...
But I can cast it twice and turn it back into a stone wall as soon as we leave.
Oh shit, look at that. Right, let's do it then.
There we go.
All right, so we'll take 2. I'll take 3 of those, actually.
You can just go in on your own, do you think?
I think we should go in. No, because we need to take out the guard.
No, because you just go in from the outside.
No, because they're going to see that as soon as I go in.
There's no window. There's no window in the door.
No, if I do it from the outside, the guards on the outside will see me open up the wall. Because there's guards outside. We have to go inside, and I think we should go in together, but that's fine.
Okay.
All right.
You want to still go from the inside? Fine.
Let's take a break, and when we come back from our break, we will do this sneaking into the castle to steal magic items away from their rightful owners.
Rightful is, a very relative term.
Finders keepers, man.
Yeah, like if you can take it, like I am chaotic, I'm neutral good. My deity is chaotic good.
By
does
your
the law
rationale,
of ownership really mean anything to me?
So by your rationale, I could steal almost anything out of a museum and it would be okay.
Here's
don't let him get you.
Here's my argument, though, Neil. They killed the people who own this and then stole it from them. I'm just stealing it back. It's already stolen goods.
But isn't that the same story for most museum artifacts? Someone a long time ago killed someone to take it and it's just been stolen countless times since then?
Ethics is a really murky dilemma.
All right, we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.